you got to be careful what you say, because not just because someone may hear it, but because you hear it, what you say also. And not only do you hear it, but if you're not careful, you will internalize what you say. And sometimes, if you're not paying special attention, like time is money, then you'll figure out that you're actually internalizing something that's not true. So, in this episode, we're going to break down why you need to stop saying time is money. Because for some individuals, the very well is true, but it has dire consequences. So let's break this down. Your time is infinitely more valuable than money. And I can prove it to you right now. See, check this out. If you go to the casino and lose $500, guess what? Later, you can go back and get $500 by working or doing something else or selling something. So you can get your $500 back. But if the case comes where you're on a roof, you slip and you fall and you have an accident where you end up in a coma for 3 months, guess what? Those 3 months you can't get back. That time is gone. Adios. So time is very valuable, and time is more important than money, because money you can always get more of, but time on this planet is limited. Here's a hardcore truth, and that hardcore truth is simply this: that you're dying. Me too. We're all dying, and that's not something to be scared of, because it's a fact. We don't know how many days we're going to have on this planet, and so you don't want to waste them. You want to be intentional about what you choose to do with your time. But the very hard truth of the matter is this also, that the majority of individuals don't believe and don't act in a way that time is equal to money. No, it's far more worse. What they do is they exchange a lot of their time for a little bit of money. I mean, they work 40 years, 40 hours a week for just a small paycheck. And that's something that has to change, especially if you want to level up. So that's something we're going to dig into right now. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Now let's get into this. There's 3 things I want to draw your attention to. They are nature, purpose, and benefits. Okay? Now, I'm going to use an apple to explain how this all relates to each other and how it relates to time and money. All right, so that looks like a pumpkin, but we're going to call that an apple. All right, so an apple, nature, okay? The nature of an apple is to produce apples. It cannot produce an orange. It cannot produce lemons. An apple has to produce apples. It can't help itself. It's in its nature. It's what it does. It was created and designed that way. It's in its nature. Now, let's say you're hungry. You got this person, right? And he sees the apple. He just sees it. And he's drooling like, oh, I really want that apple. So for him, the purpose of the apple for him is for him to eat it. So he eats the apple. He's satisfied. It tastes really good. He enjoys it. But you take a farmer, and I have no idea why I drew his hat like that, who sees the apple, and he understands the apple's true purpose. He understands that the apple's purpose is to produce more seeds. And he understands that the apple's purpose is to create more apples. Hear me out. The farmer understands that the apple's purpose is to create more apples. So with this information, he does this. He says, you know what? I'm going to plant a whole bunch of apple trees. So you plant these apple trees. Then what he does is he sells the apples to the people that are hungry and understand that, oh, those apples are so good. Okay? So what he's doing is, and this is where the benefits part comes in, he understands the benefits of an apple is that it tastes really good. And it's not going to be poison and be like, oh, it's going to make you sick. Now, he knows the good apples from the bad apples because he studies them. He understands them. So you're like, Rob, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it's simple. All right? This is what it has to do with everything. Money. Okay? The purpose of money is not to pay bills. The purpose of money is not to do what the middle income people do, where it's to pay their bills, get good credit, and buy stuff they can't afford, and try to keep up. That is not what money is for. That's not its purpose. See, money, nature, purpose, and benefits. Okay? The purpose of money is to, hear me out, check this out, is to create more money. And this is what the wealthy and rich people understand. The purpose of money is to create more money. And of course, it has benefits. The more money you create, the more stuff you can buy. But the nature of money was designed to be exchanged. It was designed to produce more. This sounds like a hard concept if it's the first time you're ever hearing it, but it's true. See, if I have something inside of my hand, I have to release it for me to receive something else. Another benefit of money is this. What the wealthy understands is this. Money allows them to buy back, redeem their time. Because you only have so many hours in a day. Let's say this is 7 a.m. and this is 10 p.m. All right? So you only have so many hours in a day, and there's only so many different things that you can do. But you want to prioritize what it is that you get to do. And instead of cutting your grass, or instead of doing your laundry, or cooking dinner, if you can have someone else, if you can pay someone to do those things for you, you don't have to do it, which means it frees up your time. So it allows you, a benefit of money is that it allows you to buy back your time. Because your time is most important anyway, right? We already established that between money and time. But where people get it wrong is they don't understand that they need to use the money to buy back their time. Instead of the opposite, where they treat money as the most important thing and they don't have any time to do what really matters. What I propose to you is to stop paying for stuff with your time. Instead, pay for stuff with something that you have, that everybody has, because it's, what I'm going to tell you is in our nature, because we were created by a creator who creates things, and that creator also put something inside of us to do something very special. You want to use an unlimited resource that everyone has, and that is creativity. See, once you use your creativity, you don't use it up. It's not like hours in a day or money in your pocket. You have unlimited creativity. And so when you use this creativity to produce an asset to generate income, guess what? You have more creativity to use. So when you pay for stuff with creativity rather than with your time, then you understand that you will have more of it. See, this is the difference between the hungry person who sees the apple on an apple tree and a farmer who sees the apple and understands that he can use that apple for benefits. And the farmer, what he does is he brings those apples home and he turns into apple pie. And someone who has lemons, you heard the classic, they turn lemons into lemonade. They take what they have and they use their creativity to create something new. And what they do is with that new thing that they create, it turns into an asset, which means that it allows them to generate cash. See, cash is in its nature to grow. And if you think about the stimulus checks and stuff, it went out of the hands of those who spent it into the hands of those who produce. So you have to be a creator and producer. And it's not like it's not something that's already in you, because I'm telling you, it is in your nature to be creative. You just have to tap into it. Everyone's life is different, but it's something that we all have. And it's something that no one else will have, because there's a specific part of creativity that's inside of you that is unlimited, that you have to access, because your life is not like anybody else's life. Not only that, but you can also leverage other people's experiences and use your creativity to create something new. Even if it's something that's already existing in another place, you've created it in your place that you're in, your environment is still new because you planted something. A tree here and a tree over there are not the same thing.